A heralded rookie made his debut during that sensational season of 2004, and in the years ahead, he would blossom into the outstanding hitter that so many had forecast. A fixture in the lineup, he also became an excellent third baseman and then a Gold Glove first baseman. A member of the 2004 World Champions and a member of the 2007 World Champions, welcome back the Greek god of walks, Red Sox Hall of Famer, Kevin Youkilis.
You got what I need, but you say he's just a friend, and you say he's just a friend. Oh, baby, you got what I need, but you say he's just a friend, but you say he's just a friend. Oh, baby, you got what I need, but you say he's just a friend, but you say he's just a friend. So I can't do a cop.
Congratulations to the Red Sox Hall of Fame class of 2018. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your caps. Presenting the colors tonight is the Woonsocket Police Department Honor Guard. And here to perform our national anthem is a recording artist and Boston native with a top 10 album on the iTunes R&B chart. Please welcome Lisa Bello.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. We now invite our Red Sox Hall of Fame class of 2018 to step forward and deliver our ceremonial first pitch. All right, class of 2018, let's see what you've got.
The Red Sox are back home and tonight take on the Atlanta Braves in Game 1 of this Memorial Day weekend series on the day the club made the stunning decision to designate Hanley Ramirez for assignment. Hi, everybody. Beautiful night for a ball game at Fenway. Great to be back home. Dave O'Brien alongside my partner Jerry Remy. And Jerry, today the Red Sox activating Dustin Pedroia off the disabled list. The corresponding move, I think, shocked everybody.
I think it did. It surprised me. I think we've been talking about it for about a week. You know, what's going to happen when Dustin comes back? And we had all kind of theories that Swihart might be traded. But no, designated assignment was Hanley Ramirez. And I think that came as a surprise to an awful lot of people around here. And, you know, talking to Alex Cora, talking to Dave Dombrowski about it, they just felt like it was the best move for the club overall. It gives them a little bit more versatility. They get to play Mitch Moreland more, which they want to do at first base. And on days that Moreland doesn't play, Blake Swihart may get an opportunity to play some first base. So that's the move they make. We'll see how it works out in time.
All right, tonight, first night without Hanley Ramirez out of the number 3 hole. And Dustin Pedroia not in the lineup tonight, but he is available to come into action tomorrow. Red Sox do have the left-hander Rodriguez on the mound tonight. Eduardo trying to pick up where he left off in his last start. We went 5 very strong innings. Taking on the first place Atlanta Braves. Back at Fenway when we return. America runs on Duncan. Lexus and the Lexus Strikes Out Hunger program. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Your local New England Ford dealers and by Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? Eduardo Rodriguez 4-1 coming in. Here's a look at the Atlanta Braves lineup he will take on tonight. Ozzie Albies is the second baseman. He will lead things off. Ronald Acuna is in right field with Freddie Freeman at first. Nick Markakis is in left. He's the number 4 hitter. Kurt Suzuki, the DH. In center field, Insarte, and it'll be Flowers doing the catching with Camargo at third, and Dansby Swanson is the shortstop. Markakis, one of those names you will know, and the Red Sox starter is presented by your New England Audi dealers. 4-1, a 4.13 ERA, and the Red Sox are 8-1 when Rodriguez does start.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. They are 5th in the American League with 25 errors on the season. Rafael Devers will be at third base. Xander Bogaerts the shortstop. Brock Holt at second. And Mitch Moreland the first baseman. Left to right, Andrew Benintendi, Jackie Bradley Jr. and Mookie Betts. And Christian Vasquez doing the catching for Rodriguez.
Umpires tonight brought to you by Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Jeff Nelson has the plate. Laz Diaz at first. Gonzalez at second and Fletcher at third. And we're available. This telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your TV remote. SAP presented by Toyota. Visit compra2toyota.com to see Toyota deals not seen on TV.
Buenas noches, amigos.
Beautiful night for a ball game. 86 degrees, partly cloudy, still a lot of blue up there, obviously. No threat of rain. And immediately the home plate umpire Nelson is headed over to the Atlanta dugout. Their manager Brian Snitker, and pointing back toward the tarp area.
It could be a clarification on a ground rule, maybe. They just went over the ground rules at home plate, and maybe that's what they're talking about right now. Something that was maybe not discussed or need to be explained more.
And that conversation continues. Yeah, usually this is all handled around home plate in the moments before the first pitch. Of course, the Braves not a regular visitor. They are 29-19 coming in. They have a half-game lead in the National League East over the Phillies.
Yeah, it's a very good ball club with a very good offense.
Albies to lead things off. The second baseman hitting .280, and you look at the size of him, and you wouldn't think he's a home run hitter, but he's hit 14. This has been a good offensive team early on. He rips the first one foul.
He's a free swinger. There's no question about that. 12 walks on the season, 41 strikeouts, but 14 home runs. And I was watching him taking batting practice today. He reminds me a little bit of Mookie Betts, how quick his hands are.
5'8", 165 pounds. Always to be followed by Acuna. And he rips a base hit into left field. So he is quickly aboard. This is a team that will do some running too. Time for our twisted but true fact. The Red Sox were 11-22 against the Braves until 2004, but after that 24-9 against Atlanta. Boston's won 11 out of 14, including 4 of the last 5. Twisted tea tastes like realized tea. Be a little twisted. There's a rookie right fielder, Acuna, .250 with 4 home runs. 20-year-old from Venezuela, just called up about a month ago. There's plenty of youth in this lineup, sprinkled in a couple of salty veterans, guys like Markakis and Freddie Freeman, who's been with Atlanta for quite a while.
We talked about the offense on the Braves. They are first in average, first in runs, second in hits, fourth in home runs. It goes on and on. First in stolen bases. They've got a very potent offense.
Pretty much in the middle of the pack pitching wise. And fouled back, but a free swinging group, that's for sure. And they do lead the National League in stolen bases. Inciarte, the center fielder, has stolen 18 by himself. Vasquez handling the catching chores tonight. Very nice ceremony for the Red Sox Hall of Famers. And all 3 of those gentlemen will be visiting us at various times tonight on the broadcast.
Rodriguez in his career has never faced the Atlanta Braves. First time that most of these players have faced him. The only one in the lineup that has faced Rodriguez is Suzuki, the DH. Red Sox starting out with multiple signs with nobody at second base, so it's become a trend with the Red Sox, home and away.
Rodriguez with a 2-1. Evens up the count, and you spotted that first when it started to take place in Toronto, and there's been a lot of talk over the years about Toronto and that particular ballpark, and are there cameras picking up signs, or is someone else seeing them someplace else? The Red Sox have kept with it.
They have kept with it, and I think the school of thought on it, there's so many cameras that are involved in new technology, and better safe than sorry. 2-2. Albies the runner, not going, and it swung on and missed. He put him away.
Acuna down swinging, out number 1.
That fastball by Rodriguez, 92 miles an hour, throws it right by him. So he threw him a good changeup prior to this. He comes back with the fastball and is a little bit late on it.
No, the real star of the Braves is this guy, Freddie Freeman, the first baseman, 324 with 9 homers, 35 driven in. He's 4th in the National League in hitting. He's 3rd in RBIs and 2nd in total bases. He's been their best player for a while. Nick Markakis on deck. You probably recall Markakis from his long stay with Baltimore, and that's a strike. 94 right there at the bottom of the knee. Markakis having a really good year. Kind of a resurgence for him. And back in Albies at first base.
Yeah, Albies with 6 steals on the season. Has been caught a couple of times.
Suzuki is their DH tonight. Freeman, the first baseman. Here comes the 0-1. Tough pitch.
Yeah, good cut fastball that time by Rodriguez. So starting it on the outside part of the plate, ending up off the outside corner. And Freeman can't stay off it.
Freeman a couple of years ago drove in 91 runs. Their top RBI man, but Markakis not far behind him, and a swing and a miss. Strike 3 got him 2.
Well, by design that time. You saw Christian Vazquez go up at his crouch. He wanted the high fastball. That's exactly where Rodriguez gets it. You see him bring the glove up, almost standing up behind home plate. So once they got 2 strikes on Freeman, they wanted to go upstairs, and they got the good result.
Amica Insurance, great service, great coverage, and great price for auto, home, and life insurance. So Rodriguez with back-to-back strikeouts. Here's Markakis now. 344 with 7 home runs. He's driven in 32 runs. Outstanding year for the veteran, who's now 34 years old. Suzuki on deck. Red Sox coming off an ugly loss against Tampa Bay. Every once in a while you're going to have a clunker. Even the best teams do, and that qualified last night.
A little bit of a sloppy game for the Red Sox last night. Still have that 1-game lead over the Yankees.
Yankees are underway against the Angels in the Bronx tonight. Expecting nice crowds throughout the weekend, and the alumni game on Sunday will precede the game at 1 o'clock. There'll be a 10:30 first pitch for that one. Pedro Martinez back on the mound at Fenway. That's worth the price of admission. Here comes the 2-0 from the lefty. And he missed with that, ball 3.
Didn't miss by very much. Tried to cut fastball on the 2-0 count and just missed down and away.
Markakis has always been a very patient guy. He'll take a walk. Suzuki, the designated hitter, on deck. And Rodriguez with a 3-0 to Markakis. Markakis has been around a long time. He's won a couple of Gold Gloves. Always been a very good defensive outfielder.
See if Albies at first base takes off on this 3-1 count. Been out there a long time looking at Rodriguez.
Two down in the 3-1. He's holding. And that's a strike. He had already let go of the bat, and that was off the outside corner.
Yeah, you can't blame him, right? That was pretty well off the outside part of the plate. And umpires don't like that when you flip the bat and start heading to first base before they make the call. But just as he was making the strike call, that's when the bat went flying back to the dugout. And I think Markakis may have a beef right there.
Jeff Nelson has the plate. He saw that as a strike. Maybe a big plate tonight. Albies will be running now for sure. There he goes. And that is going to miss. So, you know, that looked like a pretty good pitch.
Yeah, I think he probably blew the one before and realized it. So anything close was probably going to be a ball on this, because this was certainly close. Cut fastball inside part of the plate. Looked like it had plenty of the plate, but not called a strike. So here we go, first and second.
Yeah, it's Suzuki the hitter, and he's one guy who does have some experience against Rodriguez. 1 for 5, a home run off him. Just getting underway here in the first inning. First inning was trouble last night for the Red Sox. Suzuki, a veteran catcher, 261, 6 homers. Albies the runner at second. Markakis at first for Atlanta. See what he's done against the Red Sox in his career. He's been with Oakland and Minnesota, also the Nationals. So he's been around a little bit, and he's been a pest against Boston. Ender Inciarte is on deck. Here comes the 0-1. And a chopper to third. Devers in on it. Goes for the tag. And he gets him. And that'll retire the side, as he got Albies to retire it. And the Red Sox coming up here in the first inning. Toyota.com. Mookie Betts will lead it off. Andrew Benintendi, J.D. Martinez, Mitch Moreland, followed by Xander Bogaerts at short. Rafael Devers at third. Brock Holt is at second tonight. Christian Vasquez doing the catching. Jackie Bradley in center field. Against Julio Teheran, a right-hander. He's 4-1, ERA .417. And the Sox have beaten him twice. He's 0-2 against Boston, an ERA .473. Betts at .362 with 16 home runs. He hit one against Tampa Bay at the Trop. And he pops that one foul out of play.
All right, Tehran's got this herky-jerky delivery, doesn't he? Coming toward home plate.
Good slider. 6'2", about 200 pounds. From Cartagena, Colombia. Here's the 0-2 to Mookie.
That fastball only 89 miles an hour. It looks like he rushes it up there with that delivery, but the result, an 89-mile-an-hour fastball.
Mookie has batted against him 8 times, has 4 hits. High fly ball left center field. On the move, Inciarte, and he will run it down to make the plays. An outstanding defender out there.
Let's look at the Braves defense. In the National League, they are 9th with 29 errors on the season. Johan Camargo at third base. Dansley Swanson, the shortstop. Ozzie Albies at second, and Freddie Freeman, the first baseman. Left to right, Nick Markakis and Inciarte and Ronald Acuna. Tyler Flowers doing the catching for Tehran.
One down, Benintendi, 277 with 5 home runs. Did not have a hit in the Tampa Bay series. Went 0 for 5 as he looks at a strike. Although he did walk 3 times, he leads the ball club with 27 walks. And J.D. Martinez on deck in that 3 spot. Red Sox saying goodbye to Hanley Ramirez, designated Hanley for assignment today. They actually told him when the ball club got to Fenway in the wee hours of the morning.
That's a nice conversation to have about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Ooh.
Alex Cora, Dave Dombrowski, both making the decision that they felt that the club was more versatile without Hanley on it. They wanted to get Mitch Moreland more playing time.
Well, Red Sox running out of patience, I think, to some degree with Hanley. First year, 249, 19 homers. Of course, he banged up the shoulder up against the fence. 2016, he hit 30 home runs and drove in 111. And if that had continued, I don't think today ever happens. High pop up into short right. Albies going out, coming on Acuna, and the center fielder Inciarte will take that. 2 down. And Martinez is next. Last year, disappointing season certainly for Hanley. 23 homers, hit 242, drove in just 62 runs, and the way things were progressing this year. And I think you make a great point about Moreland too. Moreland has got to play more. He's got to be in the lineup.
Well, that was the part of the problem. They were having a difficult time with the rotation that they had set up, getting him in the lineup. And the way he's been playing, they obviously want him playing more.
Offensively and defensively. J.D. Martinez 328, 15 home runs. Moreland out of the cleanup spot tonight. Alex Cora, chatting with Tom Caron before the game, said he intends to hit Dustin Pedroia out of the 5 or 6 spot when he returns to the lineup.
Makes a little sense, you know, instead of slipping him back into the 2 and messing up the top part of the lineup, which has been very good. Get Pedroia, get his feet wet, you know, moving down on the lineup a little bit, get a little more offense in the middle part of that lineup toward the bottom of the lineup. And that'll probably happen tomorrow.
Foul back by J.D., who's in a little 0 for 10.
I must admit, it was nice to see Pedroia in the clubhouse today. It really was. You know, he comes in and you know he's there right away.
Instantaneously.
And he was so happy to be back. You know, you think that all he's gone through the surgery, through the rehab, and to finally get back where he belongs in a Red Sox clubhouse and tomorrow in a lineup. I mean, that's what he's been thinking about for a long time.
Coming back from left knee surgery performed in October. Off the mitt of Flowers all the way to the backstop. No score here in the first inning. The timing is very good, I think, in many ways, to have Pedroia back in the lineup tomorrow. And among the really good reasons, he has been incredible against the National League. That'll knock down Martinez high and tight.
Yeah, he was not looking for a ball inside there. He was looking for something out over the plate, and Tehran runs it back up and in on him. You see the catcher sit up inside. That's exactly where they wanted to go, and that's going to bend back J.D. Martinez.
Two and two. Martinez 1 for 3 against Tehran in his career. Atlanta does shift 3 men on the left. He goes to right. Acuna there, though, backing up a bit. He's got it. Red Sox go in order.
Primetime Sunday night at 8. The 3-inning game will include many stars like Pedro Martinez, Wade Boggs, and many more of your favorite Red Sox legends.
Legends, mind you. Got another one in the booth with us right now as we go to the top half of the second inning. Delighted to have Hall of Famer, Red Sox Hall of Famer Kevin Youkilis with us. Congratulations, Uke.
Thank you. It's truly an honor, and it's fun to be back. I mean, and this is get inducted with Derek and Mike. It's just unbelievable.
Great class.
Yeah, it's funny. When all this stuff happened, and they tell you that you're inducted, and the guys you're going with, it couldn't be two better guys that I was going with, because two guys that went about the game and played the game the right way and went about their business every single day to play this game to win, and that's what I love most about them.
Well, you went about the right way too, and that's why you're here.
Yeah. Well, there's some days I felt like it wasn't the right way, but that's the game of baseball, right? You win some, you lose some, and it was fun. It was a great ride, and it's just awesome to be here.
That's a question. You started off as a third baseman. You moved to first base. You become a Gold Glove first baseman. How tough was that transition for you?
It actually, at first, it was a little tough. Just the hardest play is the one in between first and second. You got to get a little chemistry with your second baseman, and that's the hardest part. But being a third baseman going to first base, it's a lot easier. You get a big glove on, you get to utilize that, but the key is, what I found was, you got to treat it like you're playing third base. You can't get lazy. If you get really lazy over there, bad things can happen. So I think that was the easiest thing for me, is just taking that third base mentality across the infield.
Why do you think you connected so well to Boston and Red Sox fans? What was it about how you played the game, how you did your thing, that made people here really love you?
Just going out and playing as hard as you can. This city will love you if you go out and you play as hard as you can every night. You're accountable. You don't make any excuses, and you just show them that you just love the game and you have a passion for the game, they'll fall in love with you. And I think myself, and I learned that from Trot Nixon too before me. He was beloved, and I was just lucky. I grew up in Cincinnati, Ohio, and Pete Rose, watching him every day, and I always thought in my mind, would Pete Rose be mad if I didn't go out and play the game the right way?
Yeah, well, I mean, you really did, and I think that rubbed off on your teammates as well. I think guys saw how hard you went all the time, and it made them better players than the teams you were on here.
Well, hopefully it did. You know, I was just so involved in just trying to get better every day and learn the game and try to learn from my teammates that, you know, if other teammates were picking up on it, that was great. But I just felt like you never know when you need that one run. If you hustle, if the ball's bobbled, that one run can make not just the game and getting a W, it can make your season, and that's a huge part about it.
What did it mean to you today to be when you were inducted into the Red Sox Hall of Fame? I mean, that's a pretty big honor.
Yeah, there was a couple times where I sat at home and I got a little teary-eyed thinking about it, because it truly was a special ride here with 04 and 07. The ending was a little tough in 2012, but I look back at that last game and that last hit and the fans and the energy they gave me and how much they showed compassion and love for me. I'll never forget that, and I get goosebumps every time I talk about it, because that day was the most special day of my life here at Fenway Park, because I truly felt this fan base that I try to give as much to, they gave it right back.
And what's you doing to keep busy?
So I'm just working at Loma as much as possible, staying in good shape, trying to, you know, doing jiu-jitsu. That's my thing now. Where
you're in better shape now than when you played.
Everyone keeps saying that. I said, you know, I got on this paleo diet and all this stuff and taking sugars and carbs away. I was like, if they would have told me that 10 years ago, you know, who knows? I might. Nah, I still wouldn't be playing, but I definitely would have maybe extended the career by maybe a year or two.
That's only about $10 million. No big deal.
Well,
Is that it? Is that it now? 10?
Yeah.
I thought it was like 30.
Yeah.
Brewing beer.
Yeah, so I don't brew the beer, thank God. I will eventually, but I leave that in the hands of the professionals. We have really good pros out there that brew the beer, so I leave it to them, and I just do it on the business end and try to not make any mistakes. So
Here's your toast last night, along with Tom Caron.
Oh yeah, that was some good beer right there. The IPA and getting that out there. And I know, Tom, we talked a couple times about it and was really excited about the beer. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to bring it out for him.
I hope the interview didn't go too long, because
we didn't even get to really drink it. That was the problem, is that, you know, we were talking so much that we didn't even get to grab the glasses.
Flowers on with a base hit. Camargo the batter, as we chat with just inducted Red Sox Hall of Famer Kevin Youkilis. You know, when you're sitting up here, how does the game look up here? A lot of guys will come up and they'll sit next to Jerry and I, and they'll go, man, I mean, I can see everything so clearly up here, and it moves so much faster down there.
Yeah, that's the one thing, is you sit up here, the game looks easy. You know, you get down that field, it speeds up real quick on you. So that's one thing I've learned, and talking to a couple guys that did some broadcasting here, and they said, oh man, when you get in this broadcast booth, it seems a lot easier than when you play. So you have to keep that in mind when you're watching the game. But it's a great seat. You guys got a great seat for 81 games a year here at home. I mean, this is a beautiful ballpark to watch a game.
Yeah, what does it feel like to come back, you know, to this ballpark? I mean, I know you get back here occasionally, but you know, you play all these games here and then you go away for a while, you come back. I mean, it's always got to be a special feeling to come back to Fenway.
It is. I mean, the atmosphere here, the fans, I mean, they've been so good to myself, my family, just all the people that work within the Red Sox that have just been a big part of my life. It's always good, and everyone has a big smile and happy, and it's just an honor. I mean, like, this place is so special, and you know, I working with the Cubs now, and Wrigley is so special. The old ballparks are really cool. I still miss the old Yankee Stadium when we used to go there. That was just, man, those fans were on top of you, and if you weren't a good ball player there, they would suck you up, and you know, real quick.
You were a target for him anyway. You were a target. It seemed like you were a target everywhere that you went for some reason. I don't know what it was.
Well, I definitely look back at a lot of pictures on people show me pictures of my faces that I made when I played, and I can understand why people did not like that face. Tech always jokes about it. He's like, you have a face that people do not like when you play against.
Let me ask you, did you and Jabba Chamberlain go fishing?
I play. When I going over there, it's like it was fine, but no, I don't know what. I still don't know what was going on with Jabba. He threw at me a couple of times, but people are always like, "Oh man, he used to hit you all the time." I was like, "He only hit me once, and he hit me once when I was with the White Sox." So never got me in a Red Sox uniform.
Flowers and Camargo with back-to-back base hits, and Swanson the batter as he will take that one up high. Now, how much have you gotten a chance to watch this particular edition of the Red Sox? Obviously a great start, 1-game lead over the Yankees at 34-15. The offense has been off the charts. Mookie Betts having an MVP caliber start.
Yeah, I mean, Mookie's been really fun to watch. I remember when he was first coming up as a rookie, and I thought I saw Sheffield. I saw a little bit of Sheff in him. A very handsy hitter, just really quick bat, and he's such a talent out there, and it's fun to watch his defense. I mean, he's so spectacular out there in the outfield as well. And I think people, and it's probably been talked about a ton of time, right field here is the hardest place to play in all of baseball. I had one game in right field, and that was the most intimidated I've ever been on the ball field. And just watching him out there, you need your best outfielder out there. J.D. Drew, got a lot of heat for different things here, but his outfield play in right field was one of the best I've ever seen. And Mookie is just taking it to a whole nother level.
Yeah, it's fun for us to be able to sit here and watch the great players like Mookie Betts day in and day out, and you just come to appreciate him so much more. When you get a chance to see him play all the time.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many talented players right now that you get to watch, and Benintendi, I think, is, I remember watching him in the draft room with the Cubs. And I told Theo, I was like, do not let this guy go past us. I mean, I loved his swing. I love the way he went about the game. Xander, I mean, one heck of a ball player. And it's just fun. It's fun. This team's fun to watch. Young, and then you got a little bit of the veteran leadership. It's going to be fun to see Petey come back and play. It's exciting to see him off the disabled list. I know he's fired up, and I still get to watch a little bit, but being on the West Coast and working for the Cubs, and having 3 kids, I never realized once I had 3 kids, I don't get to watch a lot of baseball.
Oh yeah, so. Get used to that. Congrats again.
Thank you so much.
Well done, Kevin Youkilis, Red Sox Hall of Famer. Great job. Great to have him back here at Fenway, where he belongs.
At midnight on Sox and 2. Sox and 2 is brought to you by Cumberland Farms, where you can get iced coffee for 99 cents, any size, any day.
Red Sox Hall of Fame inductee Mike Lowell joining us in the booth after a really nice ceremony down on the field. Does it ever get old? I mean, to come back to Fenway Park and get an ovation like
Never.
you got?
I actually think it gets better. You know, you kind of miss it. At least I do. You know, I get asked a lot, what do you miss? And I miss getting ready for a game. I like the competition. So when you hear the fans cheering, and you know, the Red Sox do such a good job. You get goosebumps looking at the Jumbotron. They throwing highlights of, you know, they don't ever put the 0 for 4s on the Jumbotron, you know, so they make you feel great.
If you make the Jumbotron, you made it.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, you didn't have too many of those days. I know that as players, you tend to remember them. Up the middle goes Moreland for a base hit. Out of the cleanup spot, Red Sox have their first knock against Tehran here. What does it mean to be a Red Sox Hall of Famer? What does it really mean to you?
Very humbling, Dave. You know, for me, when I think Red Sox, first of all, I think Fred Lynn, Jim Rice, Dwight Evans, because those are the guys I remember my dad talking to me about. But when you push it back and you hear Carl Yastrzemski, Ted Williams, you know, Clemens and Pedro, all these guys, you don't really feel like you fit, you know, because the names are just so, I don't know. I think when you're a kid, you put those names on a pedestal. And just, I still remember when Gordon Eads gave me the call, I was just shocked and elated and happy. And I think you feel like what you did here really meant something, you know, because I enjoyed my time so much. And when, you know, something like this is given to you, I don't know, it's hard to describe. I get goosebumps and I feel like, man, maybe, you know, hopefully my son and my daughter are watching that, you know, Dad did something the right way.
You know, Mike, you played in a lot of different places, 3 different places, and all have a different atmosphere. And what was Fenway like for you? I mean, compared to other places that you played?
Something like I've never experienced, Ram. You know, and I really enjoyed my time in Florida with the Marlins. I had a lot of conveniences. You know, I lived in Miami, so half the season I'm literally at home during the season, which I don't think too many guys are able to do. But even when we had that, you know, great run in 2003, you know, we didn't play in front of the number of fans that we thought the talent of the team warranted. And for me in 06, I still remember in early April, you know, it's, you know, one of those days where it's, you know, 30-something degrees.
Diving stab, Swanson into second base. That's an outstanding play.
Wow.
To get Moreland at second on the force, one man gone.
Yeah, outstanding play by Swanson, going diving first and then having the presence of mind to get up and get that force out at second base. He had to cover a lot of ground to do that, and he had no desire to do anything but go to second and get that force out on Mitch Moreland. No, you got to know the speed of the runners, and that's one thing he did in that situation. Still had the opportunity to get the force out.
So Devers will be next.
Well, I've been in Mitch Moreland's spot there where a guy that runs really well hits it and I'm the one on first. So you're thinking if it was reversed, he'd probably be safe at second. So I feel bad for Xander because, you know, if you have someone that maybe runs like him, it's a base hit. But
speed was not necessarily your forte.
Yeah, that was on the lower end of the totem pole.
You had
there.
a lot of other skills that put you in the Red Sox Hall of Fame for sure. And winning a world championship here. Talk about what that meant as well.
You know, there's definitely a pressure when you play in Boston, and I don't think it's for everyone. Rem, you can obviously speak to this. It's a case by case. Some guys really like it, some guys don't. But the expectations are always really high, and I felt like in 06, we went into if I'm not mistaken, it was a 5-game series against the Yankees in August, and if we won 3 or 4 out of those, we were right back in it, and we got our butts kicked. You know, we lost all 5 games, so we were done. And going into 07, I think that was something that really stung the guys, and you know, we wanted to really make up for it. And then Daisuke, Pedroia, JD, even Okajima, you know, you got that influx of guys, and I think Josh Beckett really settled into what he was capable of doing in 07. So early on, you see, hey, we're a pretty good team, you know. And then when you're in first place for a while and you have such a good regular season, for me at least as a player, you want to be able to match those expectations in the postseason, because what's the good of winning 93, 94 games during the regular season if you don't do anything in the postseason? So to be able to answer the bell as a team and bring home a championship is just, it's so special. I wish everyone could experience what it is to be on a duck boat when everyone's cheering for you going through the city of Boston, you know. So it's something that, you know, I truly cherish. It's such a cool feeling.
You know, I think the people would like to know, you know, what is the difference, the feeling when you're in the postseason as opposed to the regular season? You know, there's got to be a level that you get to that you just don't get to in a regular season, even though you're giving it 100% every day.
Absolutely, Rem. What I think is every inning is magnified tremendously, because no matter if you're the best team in the big leagues, you're going to lose 50 games during the regular season. You know, and that's if you go an unheard of 112 and 50. So you're going to lose. So losing is part of the season. So what do? You manipulate the bullpen to make sure you guys are ready for the end of the season, but you don't have that relaxation, that ability to, hey, we can swallow this game because we know we'll be better 3 games down the road. In the postseason, you can't give away games. So I think every at bat becomes so much more important. Every inning, every pitch, and you know, when we were down 3-1 to Cleveland in the ALCS, we had that often. I remember Kurt Schilling and David Ortiz. You know, they addressed the team after we had our workout, and we were like, forget the fact that we have to win 3 games. Forget the fact that we got to win 1 game. We got to win each pitch. And I think that's really what the postseason is about, and why everyone loves it, because there's so much riding on every pitch. You know, an extra base could be the difference between really winning and losing and getting to the next round of the postseason.
Devers down on strikes as we chat with Red Sox Hall of Fame inductee Mike Lowell. Knows a thing or two about rising to the occasion, a World Series MVP. How about your pal Alex Cora? And you guys are tight. You've known for a long time he was managerial material. What do you think about the job he's doing so far?
You know, everyone thinks you're doing a great job because you look at the record and 34-16 sounds great. This is not an easy place to be a manager. You know, when you have a lot of media scrutiny, you're second guessed a lot. And why is this move? And I didn't even call him today. You know, I saw the news on Hanley Ramirez and I was like, I'm not getting together with you today. You got enough questions, you know, to deal with. So there's always moving parts. There's always things that as a player you had to adjust, you know, whether it's at bat or the pitcher or the stadium or travel. As a manager, I think there's a whole nother set of things that you have to deal with. And when you're in a place, you know, when you're in a big market like Boston or New York or Chicago, your mistakes are seen in front of a lot more eyes, you know, and I think he's done a great job. What I think Alex did a really good job of, we knew he related to guys, but I really think he put together a nice staff, you know, and that's, I believe it's huge, because when you can bounce ideas off guys and know that their intentions are the same as your intentions moving forward, and you're on the same page as upper management, then collectively I think everyone feels, hey, we're making the proper steps to get to, you know, that World Series chance, you know, and they've done great. I mean, the record speaks for himself.
Yeah, you really got to have the right group of people all pulling in the same direction, because there are so many things here that can pull you away from that direction.
You're exactly right, Rem. And you know, and even when you construct a team, you know, you can have a lot of good guys, but one bad seed could tear a clubhouse apart, you know, and one guy on a staff or one guy in upper management, if they don't see eye to eye with everyone else, it could really cause a rift, and things can spiral out of control, you know, faster than you want it to. So I'm really happy for him, because I think it's something he was ready for, something he wanted. And things happen for a reason. I really believe it. He's spoken to me so many times about how important being a bench coach for Houston was last year. You know, that they did things a certain way that he felt were what he would do if he was a manager. And I think, you know, in speaking with Dave Dombrowski and, you know, the brass when he was interviewing, those points had to have come out, and I think it resonated with everyone. So I'm kind of living through him. You know, when we talk, I'm like, hey, so how's this, how's that, and he's just, you know, he's a cool customer. He takes things in stride, and I think he gets the big picture, which I think is a big proponent of being able to handle being a manager here in Boston.
Any thoughts of you ever getting back in the game in that capacity?
Rem, I've always said I love being on the field. I really do. I mean, it's something that I really enjoy what I do at MLB Network. It gives me, you know, the freedom to still be involved in the game, but I can spend a lot of time with my family. But I told Alex when I went down, you know, to Fort Myers for 3 days, I said, man, I love this. I really do. So I'm holding on where there's going to be a time where my kids don't need me or don't want me either, you know, in the near future. So I don't ever want to close that door, you know, because I appreciate the grind. You know, you know, you see a guy like Brock Holt, I mean, who just walked. You know, he's come up and down and been an all-star, and not knowing if his spot was going to be on the right, you know, and you relate to guys like that, and you appreciate when you see him working. And I don't know, you kind of enjoy their successes. So I don't know if that opportunity will be there, but I would never want to close that door, because you know. So
you want to be in the trenches?
I don't. I'm scared that the amount of free time I've had has spoiled me. But I do believe I'd like to give it a shot because I just like being on the field. It's something I'm so much more excited about.
And Ciarte will get to that. Outstanding outfielder, and that will retire the side. Mike, congratulations. Great honor for you. Thanks for being with us.
Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Ram.
Mike Lowe, Red Sox Hall of Famer, back in the house at Fenway. No score in this one. Delighted to have in the booth with us another member of this outstanding Red Sox Hall of Fame class. Of course, Derek Lowe, D. Lowe with us. And what a great night for you and for Mike and for you. And so kind of you to join us here. But I mean, how big a deal is this for you?
It's a big deal. I mean, let's be honest. I'm not making the big Hall of Fame. I mean, this is about as good as it gets for me. But you just think about all the great players that have played here and the history and what.
Base hit into right field off the bat of Acuna, who had struck out his first time up.
So it's just a great honor. I mean, we're talking earlier to have your family here, you know, people that have helped you throughout your process up to the minor leagues and coaches, and so it's just been a lot of fun.
Do you get a little bit nervous in a setting like that when you're being called on to go out and be celebrated when you walk out there once again and everyone's going nuts
or
for
kind of like this? Yes. Yeah. You know, you know, it was funny. I was talking to Mike Lowell before we're getting ready to walk out, and I'm like, I remember sitting here in the dugout and watching old timers go out, and you're like, God, I'm never going to be that guy. And I look at Mike and I'm like, we're those guys now.
Yeah, right.
You know, I mean, it's but it's yeah, it's just, again, I mean, you're speechless of the honor that, you know, the Red Sox were able to give us to go in the Hall of Fame, and it was just it was great.
Yeah, it's great to you know, you had so many great moments with the Red Sox. Obviously, the no-hitter, that was special. I got a chance to cover that. But I'll never forget, I don't know if you remember this. We were on an airplane once, and we were flying someplace. I don't know where it was. And you were down. You were at the, you were really down. And you had to be talking to me, you know, because you came up to me and you said, you know, Ram, I really think that they want me to lose, to put me in the bullpen. And I said, D-Lo, you got to be crazy. I said, they don't want you to lose. They want you to win. But, I mean, that's the kind of emotions that go up and down with a player.
I was all over the place. And I think about even 1998, I started off I think it was 0-7 or 0-8 with a 7 ERA. And I remember Jimmy Williams, we're in Miami, calls me in, and I'm thinking, that's it. I'm going to the minor leagues. They're going to release. And he said, we're going to go send you to the bullpen. And for me, it was the best thing that ever happened to me, because I was able to learn how to pitch in somewhat meaningless innings, you know, being a long reliever, and just steadily work your way up role-wise. But, yeah, I was all over the place, Jer. You know me. I was, you know, me and mental strength weren't the best of friends.
Little looper into left center field. It's going to drop down for a base hit for Freeman. And Atlanta with runners at first and second. And yet, you pitched in so many big games and clinching games for the rest, some of the biggest games in the history of this organization. And you came through with flying colors.
Yeah, and I think this atmosphere helps you because you know every game here in the city, as you well know, is a big deal, and you learn how to pitch in pressure situations, and I think it definitely helps in the postseason. But yeah, it's just the ebbs and flows of the game, and you know my career here was definitely that. But you know, to get the phone call, you know, to be again with great guys, great class, is just a great honor.
A lot of bling in that class.
A lot of bling. Yes.
Pretty serious bling.
Yes.
With that group of guys. Suzuki is 0 for 1. Toward the alley. On the move, Martinez not going to get Benintendi. It's going to drop in there and up against the wall. That'll bring in a run. Acuna scores. Here comes Freeman behind him. He will score. That winds up a 2-run double. Nick Markakis coming through with that shot.
That's a 7-game hitting streak now for Markakis. We talked about him earlier, how hot he's been for this Braves offense, and here he takes from lefty against lefty pitch away. Pretty good pitch by Erod on the outside part of the plate, but that's good hitting. He just takes to the opposite field off that one hop off of the wall, and the Braves jump out to the 2-0 lead. Do you have a highlight? You know, I mean, never mind a World Series. You know, I mean, that's a highlight for everybody, obviously, if you get a chance to do that. But I mean, a personal highlight that, you know, you walked off that mound after a regular season game, and I have to say it had to be the no-hitter, right? I mean,
yes, I think personally for me, it was a Game 5 against Oakland in Oakland when I came in relief.
Right.
We was first and second. We had a 1-run lead, and was able to, you know, get a couple big outs. For me, that was one of those, like, and I started Game 3, and I forget who. I think it was Grady came up to me in the 6th inning or the 5th inning of the game and said, "Hey, would you going to be would you be available to pitch tonight in the 9th inning?" So I was originally just sitting on the bench, to about an hour later being on the mound, and so for me that was one of the most gratifying, even though it was only 2 outs. But for me, as far as an accomplishment went, that was probably the pinnacle for me.
interesting.
Yeah. I mean, no hitters are luck. Let's be honest. I mean, there's some skill, I will say, but there's a lot of luck that goes involved. I mean, you watch a game, you make a lot of mistakes. They pop them up. Trot made a great play down right. Ricky Henderson made a great play in center. And you think about how many great pitchers never really came close to a no-hitter. I mean, it's
and being a single ball pitcher, as you were, a lot of contact, so things got to go the right way that day.
It definitely helps, and yeah, but I mean, it was very fortunate and a very lucky day.
When you come back here to Fenway on a night like tonight, what kind of thoughts flow through your head? Do you think back of performances like that? Do you think of postseason games? Do you think about a conversation with a catcher you had on a given night?
I just love this, just the feel of this place. I really do. Every time you come here, you know, it's been 5-6 years since I was back here. Just the whole atmosphere, the people at the restaurant during the day are talking about going to a game, and you know the city, every game's a big deal, but just the smell of it, the being around, being in the clubhouse, seeing the guys. I mean, a lot of people say that's what they miss the most, is just being around the guys.
You know, we see you a lot in spring training, and this spring you were doing a lot of work with Rick Porcello.
Yeah, I was very fortunate. I met him in the off season, and he asked if I would come to spring, and clearly, you know, I had to run it through Dana Levangie, who I've known for a long time. Dana gave me carte blanche to kind of help him out, and so I'm actually coming tomorrow at 10:30. He throws the bullpen. I haven't seen him in a long time. I talked to him between about 2 or 3 times in between each start. But yeah, it was great. You know, we worked on a little footwork, but you know, I mean, I think he felt like he was getting away from his sinker a little bit last year, throwing a little, maybe, you know, a few too many four-seamers. So we talked about that, and I give him a lot of credit. I mean, he worked his tail off, and it's not easy to make change. I mean, a lot of guys are pretty set in their ways, and he was like a sponge. You'd throw stuff at him, and he would absorb it and move on.
Inciarte, the batter, with a man at second. The 2-run double by Markakis. Lowe in the house tonight, along with the Red Sox Hall of Fame class. The Blazers are nifty, by the way.
Blazers, yes, it's nice. We all have our.
And I tell you, give you advice. Don't get rid of it because every time you come back to a function at Fenway, as a member of the Hall of Fame, they want you to wear that.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw Wakey. He was there last night. He had it on. So
Yeah.
it's not going anywhere. Believe me.
Yeah.
This jacket in the ring will be with me for a long time.
Terrific ceremony too.
Yep.
They did it for a called strike. You guys did a great job there, and you got to feel like this is true. I mean, fans love to see you, and your connection to the championship of championships. I mean, that'll be with you the rest of your life.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. I played actually a few more years away from Boston than I did here, but I still believe that I'm a Red Sox. I mean, and fans are the same way. It's I think once you have success here, you know, they're going to remember you forever, and you know, I'll definitely remember this place. And you know, it's amazing not knowing anything about coming here in 1997 when Jason and I got traded. I grew up in Detroit, Tigers fan, didn't really know that much about the history, and then to come full circle, you know, 8 years later, be able to win a World Series, and then obviously cap it off with the last couple of days here.
Bogaerts with a backhand stab will set him down, holding the runner at second base, and that's on number 2.
I must admit, looking back in that trade, that was a pretty darn good trade for the Red Sox, wasn't it?
I tell people it's a funny story. You know, we're in Colorado Springs. We get called in, say, hey, you know, you've been traded. So Dan DeCat's going to call you when you get back to the hotel. So Jason gets on the phone first, and I can kind of see his kind of puzzling look and whatever. And then I get on the phone, and then we hang up. I'm like, Jason, like, he's like, Jason says, well, I think Dan thinks I'm an overweight catcher that can't hit. I'm like, well, he thinks I'm left-handed. Dan looks, you know, on the phone. He's like, yeah, you're a big, tall, left-handed sinker baller guy. I'm like, oh God.
He's getting a lefty.
And Jason said, yeah, he thinks I'm an overweight catcher that can't hit.
Feel like we're in trouble.
Like, this ought to
may
work.
be in big trouble.
Well, this is exciting. I can't wait to get there.
Can't wait to go to Pawtucket. This ought to be a blast.
Right. And look how it wound up.
But I mean, I'm not, you know, obviously when you're a GM, you're just, you know, he didn't see us, and obviously he was just reading reports, but the reports weren't all that great. But
that's a great
yeah,
story.
it was a great.
So the trade wasn't as great as I thought it was.
It was great, believe me. It was just
they're really cracking the books. You know? Make sure we get the right guy in here. But
yeah, it was interesting, but it was great for both of us. I mean, the Seattle at the time was, you know, their veteran team, and Lou Piniella, you know, wasn't the greatest fan of youngsters, so it was just it was a great trade.
Flowers puts that in play, and Devers with a backhand will get him. D'Lo, great to see you again. Congratulations, wonderful job.
Pleasure. Thank you very much. Good seeing you guys. Thanks.
Derek Lowe, Hall of Famer, Red Sox Hall of Famer, and Atlanta in front 2-0. The 13 champions, game number 51. The Red Sox beat Cleveland 6-5. Jacoby Ellsbury with a walk-off double in a 4-run ninth inning. That was a very dramatic come-from-behind win against Cleveland. Our thanks to the newly inducted Red Sox Hall of Famers, Mike Lowell, Derek Lowe, Kevin Youkilis joining us tonight. That was a lot of fun.
They were all very good.
Love talking about the Red Sox days. In there for a strike on Jackie Bradley. It is 2-0 Atlanta on a double by Markakis to drive in a pair. Jackie at 174, batting for the first time tonight. And that's Betts and Benintendi, and they'll be getting their second look at Tehran. Jackie 3 out of 11 in the series at Tampa Bay. Showing some signs of life at the plate. Sit safely in 3 out of 4. Sox have been held to 1 hit. Base hit by Mitch Moreland in the second inning. That's been all so far against the righty. And a 2-1.
I love Derek Lowe's story about how he got over here in the trade.
Yes.
Left-handed sinker baller and an overweight catcher.
Not quite accurate in the scouting report. 3-1. No wonder they got traded.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine getting off a phone call like that and say, whoa, where am I going?
Yeah. Those two guys wind up in the Red Sox Hall of Fame. Oops. 3-2. On the infield to Albies, who will fire on to get Jackie Bradley, and 1 man away. Time now for our Dunkin' Donuts poll. And which National League East team do you think is a bigger surprise, the Braves or the Phillies? Text 1 for the Braves, 2 for Philadelphia. Text your answer to 536-536. Message and data rates may apply. 1 message per vote.
That should be a very close vote, I think.
Atlanta with a half-game lead on the Phillies. It's interesting. The Braves have been an excellent road team, and the Phillies have been great at home. Philadelphia 18-7 at home. Red Sox will play there this summer. Mookie's fly to center 0 for 1, but he leads the big leagues in home batting average. He's batting .417 at Fenway. Well, you get the feeling talking to all 3 of those guys that they are very humbled by being inducted into the Red Sox Hall of Fame alongside the names they are now with, immortalized with.
There's no question about it. You know, you are humbled when you are picked by an organization to be part of their Hall of Fame. It puts you in a different category than a lot of other people or players that have come through, and it really doesn't hit you until you get the call, and you start thinking about it in that way.
Trying to hold up, but he committed, and you felt the same way when you got the call.
Absolutely. I mean, here I am sitting back. I'm thinking about. I grew up 50 miles from here. I'm a kid from Somerset, Massachusetts, and I'm going into the Red Sox Hall of Fame, the team that I grew up, adoring and watching. And I mean, I couldn't. I was beside myself.
2-2 to Betts. Red Sox in need of base runners. They only have a couple so far. Offense was pretty quiet against Blake Snell last night down at Tropicana. Until a bit of a late rally, but not enough in the end. Sox did win that series 2-1. And payoff pitch to Mookie. Foul tipped into the mitt, struck him out. 2 gone.
Something Mookie does not do very often, a strikeout. Only 24 of them this season for Betts. He Looks like he chased a pitch that may have been up and out of the strike zone that time. You don't see that very often. Foul tipped it into the glove of Flowers behind the plate.
Benintendi 0 for 1, a fly to center. Last 8 games, he's hitting .393. He's gone 11 for 28. Tehran's got good stuff. He took a no-hitter into the 7th inning against the Mets on May 3rd in New York before a double from Asdrubal Cabrera broke that up, but he can get on a roll. 27 years old, from Colombia. Braves up 2-0. Here's the 1-1.
Tonight after Red Sox coverage on NESN Sports Today, we'll have a full recap of tonight's Sox game, plus highlights and reaction from Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Cavs and the Celtics. NESN Sports Today is presented by People's United Bank, where the technology is as helpful as the people.
Nobody on, 2 down, the 1-2 way wide. Sox have really had their way in recent years against the National League. They're 35-10 against the NL since late in 2015. They've won 13 of their last 14 interleague games and 7 in a row. And so far, this is one of the better Braves teams in recent years. 3-2 on Benintendi. Martinez hoping to bat in the inning. He's on deck. And a payoff pitch. Down he goes swinging. Back-to-back Ks by Tehran. Trusted source for tickets to all Red Sox games and concerts here at Fenway, with prices better than you think and service better than you can imagine. Go to aceticket.com right now. Beautiful night here. 2-0 Atlanta as we go to the 4th inning. Johan Camargo leading things off here. He's got a base hit. He'll be followed by Dansby Swanson and Ozzie Albies. Floated towards center, backing out Brock Holt. Plenty of time for the out. Let's get out to Guerin.
Hi, OB. Well, if those of you at home are just joining us, some surprising decisions today as the club announced that they were moving on from Hanley Ramirez. Alex Cora said this would give them the opportunity to give Blake Swihart more playing time. Talked to Swihart in the clubhouse, and he said it's been a long week with all the speculation, but he's continued to get his work in, and he was ready to play. He said his mindset has not changed in spring training. He's willing to do anything he can to help the team win. Swihart said he'll start getting more work in at first base. He knows Mitch Moreland is willing to help him, and guys, he said that he knows there'll be a learning curve, but he's willing to do it.
All right, Garen, thank you very much. Yeah, there's a lot of speculation leading up to the move today, which was a stunner for many people. And maybe for Blake as well. Should lead to more playing time. Dave Dombrowski was talking about it in his presser late today about the many conversations, really going back to February, that he had been having with Alex Cora about what would be done when Dustin Pedroia did return. Looks like Petey will be in the lineup tomorrow night. Activated today off the DL. All-star second baseman back to good health and ready to go.
Glad to be back at the big league level too, where the lights are better for night games. He was saying how difficult it was at the minor league level sometimes to see, and that's so true. One thing you really notice when you get to the big leagues is, you know, how good the lighting is in all the ballparks compared to, you know, in AA, AAA, where they're don't have the number of lights that they have at the big league level.
Per diem's a lot better too, isn't it?
A lot of things are better. Yeah.
Travel, no more buses. The only bus the Red Sox take, typically from Fenway to the airport, or the airport back to Fenway after the trip. That's it. In tight on Swanson, 0 for 1 with a fly to center. He's a Georgia native. He was born at Kennesaw, Georgia. Attended Vanderbilt University. Led the Commodores there to 2 consecutive College World Series appearances. He was a finalist for the Golden Spikes Award in 2015, but he didn't win it. It went to Andrew Benintendi as the top player in college baseball that year. 3-2. He put him away. Made a good pitch to fan him.
Two-seam fastball that time from Rodriguez, working down and away and off the plate actually to Swanson. Look at the movement at the end on that pitch. And gets him the chase. You know, it looks like a strike as it's coming in, then it just darts away.
So Rodriguez has struck out 4. Now Albies the top of the order, base hit and a fly out. He's 1 for 2. Switch hitting second baseman.
Another one of those hitters that works from an open stance, wide open stance, and then of course gets it closed up as the pitch is coming to home plate to get himself squared up with the baseball. But see how open he is to begin with. Gets all the momentum going back toward the pitcher.
Not a big guy, but good power. His first major league hit was a 3-run homer. 14 home runs. Braves in front here, 2-0. They about hit the Sox 6-1.
A guy like this, you got to be careful 3-0 too, because he's got the power.
And he's going to take ball 4. Rodriguez careful with him. A 2-out walk.
Tomorrow at noon, don't miss Red Sox first pitch, presented by Joseph Abboud, available at Men's Warehouse. TC, Jim, and Steve will break down Eduardo Rodriguez's start.
Ronald Acuna Jr. has gone 1 for 2 with a base hit. He'd been slumping coming in a big way, 13 for 70, but single and a run. He came across the plate when Markakis doubled in the 3rd inning. As we said at the very top of the broadcast tonight, Atlanta is the top offensive team in the National League. 2 first-place clubs clashing here tonight. Sox are home for 6, and then we'll head out onto the road again, and we'll be playing the Houston Astros, the reigning world champs, in Texas. Fouled back at a big cut.
Fastball's been hanging around 92, 93 tonight for Rodriguez. Also mixing into that 2-seamer. Not too many changeups to this point in the game. Some cut fastballs.
Albies aboard at first, 2 away, in the 0-2 from Rodriguez, and he ran it inside. Drew Pomeranz tomorrow in the afternoon at 1:05. Sunday also at 1:05, and that's Chris Sale on the bump. One, 2, line to center. It hangs up though, and Jackie will make the play to retire the side. Experts at Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center find out how minimally invasive techniques can get you back to the activities you love the best. Visit bidmc.org. 2-0 Atlanta here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Jerry Remy, Dave O'Brien, and Garen Austin with you. Red Sox trying to get something going against Tehran, who's been tough. He's allowed 1 hit. And that was the single by Mitch Moreland. Martinez 0 for 1, a fly to right field. He's hit a home run 5 of his last 11 games. Tehran features a pretty tight slider. That was the first one there to Martinez. Moreland on deck.
Big shift on the left side of the infield against Martinez, as most teams do. Most of the time when he goes the other way, it's in the air. When he pulls the ball, a lot of times it's on the ground to the left side. That's why we see so many shifts against him.
Two strikes on J.D. Martinez, sitting there with 15 home runs. Long look in by the righty.
Catcher got frustrated. He put down every sign he has, and everyone got shook off. Check it again. His notes. What would he want? What do we want to do with Martinez? Wants a slider away. I love what the catchers have now. You know, most of them, not all of them, but most of them. They have like those, like the quarterbacks wear in football.
Yeah.
They can check the plays.
Yep.
They got on their the list of the hitters and what they do against this particular pitcher, how they want to attack them. Every once in a while, they go back as for a reminder.
Two and two.
Flowers looked like he was upset that time, right?
He did.
He's sick of putting down signs that are getting shaken off.
He's like, pick one.
Now he's trying to figure out, what does he want to throw? I guess right.
High deep drive in the left field, headed to the top of the wall, and that ball is out of here. It's home run.
You guessed wrong.
He'd like number 2 back. But Martinez connects for number 16. And the Red Sox are on the scoreboard.
Well, they put down the slider. They want that pitch away. Instead, it stays inside, and that's the one that J.D. pulls. And pulls it right into the first row of the monster seats. So the Red Sox finally scratch the board.
Right onto the shelf. Over that red line. So he's pulled even with Mookie Betts for the Major League home run lead at 16. Speedway will donate $500 to Boston Children's Hospital for every Red Sox home run this season. And don't forget, all summer, stop by your local Speedway and quench your thirst with a refreshing Speedy Freeze. Moreland 1 for 1 with a base hit. So we'll see if that begins a trend here against Tehran. Second time through against him. Martinez was able to rip the home run. Moreland has hit 7 of them. And the 2-0. He's taking a strike. Our key matchup presented by Sullivan Tire Complete Auto Service. We're always here to get you there. Mitch Moreland at Fenway this year, batting .375 after his single with 8 doubles. And we'll be getting a lot more playing time moving forward.
See him trying to keep everything away from Moreland. Every single pitch in this bat has been away. Even the 2-0 was on the outside part of the plate for a strike. That one that Moreland wants to swing at. He's looking for something to pull in that situation.
Bogaerts on deck. 2-1 Atlanta. Good count here. 3-1. Put it on the corner according to Jeff Nelson. So 3-2.
Yeah, makes the same pitch on 3-1 that he did on 2-0. 2 counts where the hit is trying to narrow down a zone, and a zone is not out there.
So the count full, and here comes. High fly. Well hit. Acuna back though, and he's got room. And he'll make the play right on the edge of the warning track for the first out.
Tomorrow at 12:30, don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live, presented by DCU. TC, Jim, and Steve will preview tomorrow's matchup between Sean Newcomb and Drew Pomeranz. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you?
Bogaerts to climb in. He's 0 for 1. Had a cool series against Tampa Bay, 1 for 10, although he had a huge hit, the game-winning double in the 9th inning Wednesday. Red Sox scored 3 times in that 9th inning, and his was the only hit. Trying to make a run with the bat and get that batting average back to 300 at 284 right now. J.D. Martinez connecting, pulling a home run for his 16th. And the 0-1 coming.
That fastball velocity has increased for Tehran as he gets deeper into the ball game. He started off with fastballs about 89. That last one was 93.
It was a breaking ball that Martinez hit out. It didn't do much. 1-1. Ran him off the plate. Devers to hit next. Here's the 2-1. He had a notion, but he stayed away. Now 3-1. Sox about to play a bunch of day games. In fact, 3 in a row.
One o'clock, 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 1 o'clock. A lot of day games on this homestand.
3-1. There's a high fly ball that is deep to left field. Back it goes and gone and completely out of Fenway Park for Xander Bogaerts. His 7th home run, 2nd in the inning for Boston, and the Red Sox have tied it. All the way out, and it seems like all 7 have been totally out of the ballpark.
Yeah, that was on a slider too. Both home runs in this inning for the Red Sox have come off the Tehran slider. We'll look at Martinez first. He gets one inside. It's supposed to be outside. It stays inside. And Bogaerts' home run is going to be a little bit more over the plate, the slider. And he just jumps all over it. Very flat pitch right there, and Tehran knew it.
So Xander with his 7th. Well, home runs have been such a big part of the attack of the 2018 Red Sox, haven't they?
Certainly have.
They are number 2 in the majors in home runs.
One more look at the Bogaerts swing. And you just know that ball's going to carry a long, long way. Yeah, you look up for a second and you know that's good. No chance to stand in the ballpark.
Devers is 0 for 1. He struck out first time up. Red Sox have tied it at 2. Red Sox had already tied the club record for home runs through 51 games. Raphael's hit 9. He hit a blast at Tampa Bay. Here comes the 3-1 as again Tehran falls behind. And he's going to walk him. And there's a gift certificate from his manager. Every time he takes ball 4, Alex Cora's deal with Devers is he gets a $50 gift certificate. Let's check out what events are coming up at Foxwoods Resort Casino June 15, a night of funk and soul with Kool and the Gang, Morris Day and the Time, and Cameo. Now, we had promised last night in the 9th inning that if the Red Sox had rallied and won the game, that Jerry and I were going to do our karaoke version of Ladies Night from Kukul in the game. We came that close, actually.
We actually did it on the plane.
We did it on the plane a little bit later.
Yeah.
A huge hit, by the way.
Yeah, after a wine on the plane, you feel like singing.
But Jerry, I was really looking forward to that, and I'm more than happy to sing along with you.
Okay, you're in.
I hear you can really sing, Garen, that you are gifted.
I know. I do not know who is telling those kind of rumors, but that is not true.
I think I heard it from you, actually.
No.
Brock Holt again, and he walked in the second inning. Devers on and in there for a strike. Brock hitting .329. Tehran working from the stretch with one down. Brock has now reached in 18 of his last 20 games. Last 16 games, he's hitting over 400. And a righty with a 1-1. Got him picked over there, and he is going to be out. Devers cut down at first base on the throw by Tehran to pick him off.
And back comes the $50 gift certificate. Looked like he was leaning towards second base. I don't know if he was thinking about going or not, but watch his first step. It's towards second. Then by the time he tries to swim back, he puts his hand right on the tag. But he was definitely leaning towards second base.
I think you're right. That's got to be the rule, right? If you get picked off after a walk, there goes the gift certificate.
Oh, yeah. You got to pay it back.
1-2 on hold. Vasquez would be next. Red Sox have tied the game with power. Martinez and Bogaerts with home runs. And 1-2. Roll to first base, and Freeman there to retire the side, but the Red Sox with a couple of big flies make it 2-2. The commitment to helping people lead tobacco-free lives. Learn more at cbshealth.com/be-the-first. To the fifth inning and a 2-2 game. Red Sox interleague play against the Atlanta Braves. And Eduardo Rodriguez getting some run support on a pair of home runs. Xander Bogaerts totally out of Fenway, and J.D. Martinez driving one onto the ledge and left.
You know, one thing we did mention that last time Freeman was to play, we were doing interviews, but when he hit that double, when Markakis hit the double, he had a very, very good jump at first base. He made a very good read on the ball in the gap. That's why he was able to score. Take a look at it right now. Now watch him at first base. He sees contact and he knows that the ball's not going to be caught, so he just keeps going. And by the time it bounces off the wall, you know, and they get it, they can wave him on because he got such a good jump over there.
Three and one on Freeman. He finished second in the 2011 National League Rookie of the Year balloting to his teammate Craig Kimbrell, then of the Atlanta Braves. 3-1. Went after it and he fouled it away.
Frustrated he missed that pitch. It was a fastball right down the middle.
This guy gets on base a lot. High on base percentage, .424, among the best in the National League. Payoff pitch. He got him. Struck him out for the second time, 94 miles an hour.
Yeah, both times tonight that he struck him out. Once was on a high fastball back in the first inning. This fastball not as high. Right down the middle, about belt high. Oh, Erod challenging Freeman tonight with that fastball and winning the battle 2 out of 3 times.
Sends up Nick Markakis, who has walked. He's also doubled in 2. National League's top hitter. Pitch number 78 for Eduardo. And a foul ball tipped into the mitt. Mentioned this before, what a big deal it is for him to go 6 innings. When he does, he's 21-3 in his career. Last time out he got the win while going 5 against Baltimore. Didn't give up a run. We've got a Coors refreshing finish coming up in a moment, which is one of my favorite moments in Red Sox history. I remember watching this, but my partner did more than watch it on TV.
I know what you're talking about.
This was an all-timer.
Yeah,
absolute all-timer. And if you were around 42 years ago today, you're a Sox fan, you were doing exactly what I was doing. You were howling watching this. 1-2. Knock foul. Just a little tease on what we're talking about here.
It has to do with the captain.
Does
number
indeed.
8.
Yep, does indeed. And quite a display of emotion 42 years ago today. And a 1-2 coming down into the dirt. Braves not only the #1 hitting, but also the #1 scoring team in the National League. I think that surprised a lot of people. They have a nice mix of veterans and really young players who are really talented. 2-2. All filled up now, 95 on the gun, but a ball.
Quickest fastball of the night right there for Rodriguez.
It's actually 43 years ago today.
And don't age us, Dave.
Yeah.
It's bad enough as it is.
Oh, I'm feeling it too. 3-2, and in there to sit him down. Markakis caught looking. Our refreshing finish brought to you by Coors Light. 43 years ago today, Yaz was called on a 3-2 pitch by Lou DeMuro. In his anger, he would cover home plate in absolute disgust. An iconic moment from the man they call Yaz.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that I was at second base for the Angels on that particular day. And I remember that. You know, Yaz could get on umpires real good. I mean, he wouldn't look at him, but he'd step out of the box and he would really let him have it as he was looking out toward the pitcher. You know, he didn't turn around to embarrass him in front of the crowd, but man, would he lay into him. And, you know, Yaz wanted everything. I mean, you know, if he didn't swing at it, it wasn't a strike.
That guy must have been really bad behind that plate to do that.
He was.
Was he really bad?
He was. Yeah, I hate to say it, you know.
Right. Oh, I know, but you're only telling the truth. For him to react like that, oh, he must have been beyond angry.
The ball looked like it was a foot outside.
It did.
I think that was Ed Figueroa, if I'm not mistaken, the pitcher.
Suzuki's gone 0 for 2. Tied up here 2-2.
Remember one time, Yaz, he liked no noise when he got into the batter's box, and there was a catcher named Mike Heath. They used to chirp and chirp and chirp and chirp and chirp. And finally, once Yaz called timeout, and we could hear him from the dugout turn around and say to him, "Look, you got to shut up. I've had enough." And that was it. He shut up.
And he did shut up.
Yeah.
Well, when the captain tells you to do it, that one fouled back. Talking about the other team. That's real respect. But you remember that vividly out there at second base.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
That was played over and over and over again for years when I was a kid growing up. Great stuff. 1-2, and he won't bite. I can remember coming to Fenway many times and just praying that Yaz would be in the lineup, and it made my night when he was in there. And when he wasn't, the few times he wasn't, I was absolutely heartbroken. Everyone's got their all-time favorites, but he was certainly mine. Just praying he'd be in the lineup. Because every kid in my neighborhood growing up in Marshfield, we would hold that bat as high as we could over our heads, pretending to be Carl Yastrzemski. And we were right-hand hitters, most of us. Bogaerts behind second will flip on and get him. Nice inning by Rodriguez. He gets him 1-2-3. Foundation runs a 50-50 raffle to support the Foundation's many charitable programs. And if you're going to this Sunday's game, the Sox are dedicating the 50-50 raffle proceeds to support our good friend and former NESN cameraman John Martin in his battle with ALS. For more information on the Red Sox Foundation's 50-50 raffle, just visit redsoxfoundation.org. Halfway through, we're tied up 2-2. Bottom half of the 5th inning. Vasquez, Bradley, and Betts getting their second look. First two guys at Tehran. Last inning, home runs by J.D. Martinez, number 16, and Xander Bogaerts, number 7. Solo shots to tie it. Yankees and Angels are 1-1. They're in the 5th inning.
You know, last inning when Martinez was the plate, our camera crew and truck got a great shot of the catch of Tyler Flowers, just completely disgusted with throwing down signs and having Tehran shake him off. It's a great shot. We get a chance, we'll show it to you.
Well, we're doing a great job teasing all the good stuff tonight, aren't we? Our bosses are going to love it. The 1-1. Up the middle, deflected by Tehran, slowed down to Albies, but he'll collect it and get him. 1 away.
Now watch Tyler Flowers, the catch. He throws down a bunch of stuff. Watch his face. Oh, come on. For crying out loud. What in the world do you want to throw? This is miserable.
So look, we all have in the line of the DMV when it's not moving. You know, it's
yeah,
like, oh,
exactly.
Come on.
That's a great shot.
Jackie Bradley's 0 for 1. He sucks that one toward the alley. There's nobody out there toward the triangle. That's going to skip around up against the center field wall. He's taken up for second, rounding second on his way into third. And he'll pull up in a triple. 3 bases for JBJ. Thought for a split second maybe inside to Parker.
Yeah, you start to think about that when the ball tracks around that 420 out there and around the garage area. You start thinking about it. That ball's on the outside part of the plate, but it's hooked by Jackie. And you know it's going to be extra bases right here. The question is how many extra bases? Any kind of bobble out there by the center fielder, and that would have been inside the park. Outfielders have to be very careful in dealing with that area of the ballpark. Now the infield comes in from Atlanta with a tie score, 1 out.
And Betts, the hitter, he has flied out, struck out, trying to get a handle on Tehran here in a 2-2 game. Yeah, we've seen it time and time again here at Fenway. When it goes up against that garage door, all bets are off.
Exactly, with a guy that can run a little bit.
Bradley at third, trying to untie it. Mookie takes a strike.
See the ball bounce off the Red Sox bullpen, then it starts to carry him around the door, and when it gets in that area right there, you better be clean with it, getting it back in the infield. They were that time, and that kept the Bradley to the triple.
One to Mookie. He's 4 for 10 against Tehran in his career. Making more fans every day all over the country. He has been tied up in home runs by his teammate J.D. Martinez tonight. He really is being careful with him. 3-1. Benintendi on deck. Now Betts can pick one out if he likes it. Here comes the 3-1. Boy, did he go for that.
Boy, they're keeping that fastball up on him too, throwing it above his swing. That's how they struck him out back in the third inning. This is a very similar pitch. To see how high it is.
Almost a look of shock on his face that he didn't hit it 420 feet. 3-2, infield in close. And he walked him. So Mookie is aboard. They're on the corners now for Benintendi, who's gone 0 for 2 in this one.
Adomis, WB Mason, Extra Innings Live right after the game. TC, Jim, and Steve will break down key plays of the game, and you'll hear from Eduardo Rodriguez and Alex Cora, celebrating over 20 years of same-day delivery.
Well, tonight we're celebrating very much a summer evening feel at Fenway.
Yeah, this is great.
And so welcome. Big crowd in a festive mood, and they'd like the lead here. Tied 2-2. Benintendi has flied out to center and struck out. Mookie's been stealing a lot lately. 9 stolen bases in his last 14 games. And he dives back in safely. Bradley holding at third. Day baseball tomorrow at 1:05, and on Sunday, and on Monday. The Memorial Day weekend. One down. First and third.
Now, the thought has always been, that the more you throw, the more you make a guy dive back, he loses some of the spring out of his legs. But I never found that to be true.
You didn't?
No.
Did it make you even more determined?
Sometimes you get so upset, you just want to go.
Holding at the moment, and it's outside.
And especially when you're not going and he's thrown over 3 times. It's like, come on, you want to tell him, I'm not going on this pitch.
Hey, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, please throw to the plate. We got a guy waiting to hit. He wants to hit you.
Martinez next. And a 1-0 from Julio Teheran. Two-0.
Sometimes all those throws to first base too can take the focus off what your job is, and your job is to get the hitter.
Yep, the distraction of speed. And Mookie digs out another lead. Benintendi with a good count. Fouled into the mitt.
Seems like every time he needs a swing and a miss, he goes to that high fastball. 2-0 count. That ball was up in the zone. See if Mookie runs here in a 2-1 count.
Jesse Biddle getting loose in their bullpen. The lefty. Back in again. Benintendi hitting .304 with 5 home runs off right-handers. Betts holding. 2-2. JD Martinez blasted a home run his last time up. So did Xander Bogaerts. One hitter apart. and tied the ball game. And now with Bradley on third after the triple, the Sox are trying to get in front for the first time. And a 2-2. Popped up foul, back out of play.
'87 pitches now for Tehran in this game.
Came in 4-1. He's twice won 14 games in the big leagues. Back in 13 and 14, he won 14 each year, but since then he's gone 11-8, 7-10, 11-13. He's on a better club now. Betts forced back again, time and time again. So the Braves with bullpen activity for the first time. Tehran really slowing down the tempo. There goes Mookie. There's a fly ball, well hit to left center. And Ciarte back there into the warning track. He's got it, tagging up Jackie Bradley. He is in to score. The RBI to Benintendi. And the Sox take the lead for the first time tonight, 3-2.
Well, they kept going upstairs on Benintendi, and you know that's a ball obviously that you can lift in the air, and that's exactly what he does by making contact. Once again, it's a high fastball up and away, and Benintendi gets up there and hits the bottom part of the baseball, gets it up deep enough for the run to score. Betts was at second. He had to re-tag. He does, and he gets back to first base safely as Jackie Bradley comes home with the go-ahead run.
Benintendi with his 30th RBI. And a fine at bat there. And the Sox are in front 3-2 with 2 down. That'll send up J.D. Martinez. A home run and a fly to right. They're going to appeal down there at second base.
There's no question he re-tagged. I don't even think he went by the bag. He tagged it.
Mookie getting a bit of a kick out of it.
Looks like Albies wants him to look at that, but I was watching Betts. And to me, he tagged the bag and just went right back.
Two away and a big run in. Martinez now hitting .330, 16 homers, 42 RBIs. Moreland would be next. He has a base hit tonight. And there goes Betts. Here's the throw down, and gonna get him.
Just a matter of time, and the reason I say that is because Tehran has a very high leg kick, and that is a trigger obviously for any base runner that can steal bases. Watch his leg kick, how high it comes up. It comes up around his hip. You know, once a base stealer sees that, he says, I know that I can make a stolen base against this guy. And you want to be positive when you get J.D. Martinez at the plate too, because he can take the ball out of the ballpark.
Now he can bring him in with a base hit. 13 stolen bases for Mookie. And drilled in there for a strike, and a count 0-2. JD's been talking a lot lately about the science of hitting, getting a lot of questions about that as one of the premier hitters in the game. And someone asked him the other night to talk about his swing and his swing path, and he said, you got an hour? Because it's taken him so long to get to the point he's at now, he feels, as a self-made hitter. Certainly one of the very best in the game. Frank Thomas the other day saying he's the best hitter in baseball. Two down, a man in scoring position. Red Sox in front 3-2. Not yet the dog days of summer. It's beautiful. Temperatures in the 70s. Here's the 1-2. Got a piece of it to hang in there.
Tehran is not exactly a get the ball and throw it kind of guy, is he?
No, he's not. He's deliberate. Well, he's slow. He's also thrown 92 pitches now.
And 11 of those to first base.
Trying to get Mookie. Has picked off a man. He did pick off Devers in the 4th inning. But not Mookie Betts. Gets his lead at second. The 1-2 to the right side. Scooped up by Albies, and he is in time at first to retire the side. But the Red Sox have the lead here, 3-2. Red Sox home screen icons and more. Download MLB at bat today. Jerry Remy, Dave O'Brien, Garrett Austin from Fenway. 6th inning, 3-2. Sox in front. Ender Inciarte has gone 0 for 2. If he gets on, he'll be looking to run, perhaps. Got a lefty out there tonight, but he has 18 stolen bases, which leads the majors. And a really good outfielder. I think we've seen some of that tonight already, even on balls he hasn't caught. Runs great routes to the ball. He's won 2 Gold Gloves. They can really fly. And it'll be in there for a strike. Sox do have activity in the bullpen now. Heath Hembree begins to warm. Sox are 8-1 when Eduardo Rodriguez is on the hill. .93 now for his pitch count. Inciarte, an all-star last year. He's batted over 300 twice in his career. And down he goes hacking on a 94-mile-an-hour Swiftie.
And that's good location right there. Fastball outside corner. 94, as you mentioned, Dave, and he puts it right on the outside part of the plate, and just kind of a very defensive swing there by Inciarte. Trying to foul the ball off, actually.
Sends up Tyler Flowers. He has a base hit and he's grounded out, 1 for 2. The Atlanta catcher didn't look too thrilled with his pitcher shaking him off over and over. And as we showed you earlier, Camargo on deck. Red Sox ahead 3-2, even though they've been out hit 6-4. That one gets by the mound. Xander Bogaerts to fire on and get him. 2 up and 2 down. Let's get out of Guerin.
Jerry, it was interesting to hear Kevin Youkilis talk about how he saw Trot Nixon as a leader in the clubhouse. Mookie Betts, Xander Bogaerts, and several guys in this clubhouse have said that when they have questions about hitting, they can go to J.D. Martinez. Martinez told me that he takes a lot of pride in this. He said that when he was in Houston, he didn't really have that guy. And then when he went to Detroit, Torrey Hunter was that guy that he could always go to with questions. And when he went to Arizona, he wanted to become that guy. And then again here, and he said it's been fun for him because the guys on this team are so talented. Now, Jerry, I'm curious, who was somebody that you considered a mentor in the clubhouse?
Well, actually, for me, it wasn't really a player. In 2 situations with the Angels, it was, and with the Red Sox, it was coaches that were really my mentors. You know, Grover Riesinger with the Angels and Walt Reniak here with the Red Sox. They were the guys that, you know, when I was scuffling, having a problem, that I would go to, and they were very, very helpful to me. So it was more, for me, it was more coaching than it was other players.
And JD really seems to have taken to that role here. And as hard as he works at his craft, you figure that would be a smart thing for young players to do.
Well, it's contagious. You know, I remember seeing him in the first day of spring training having Billy Broadbent, who does video for the Red Sox, you know, just filming all his batting practice swings. I've never seen that before. And then he'd look at his round after, you know, and go back and try to make corrections on what he was doing. He still does to this day during batting practice. So he takes it all to like a different level, than a lot of players.
Yeah, I've never seen that either. Serious as a heart attack. Camargo is singled and popped up. Rodriguez looking for another 1-2-3 inning. Would be his second in a row, but he's not going to get it here. He walks him.
You know, it would be a great interview to be able to sit down with him and just talk hitting. You know, because I always enjoyed, you know, the real good hitters on, you know, their approach, what they're thinking about, how they're thinking, you know, how they prepare. I think it'd be a very interesting thing to be able to do. But as you're right, it'd probably take an hour.
Yeah, it might. Well, the night is over for Eduardo Rodriguez, who went 5 2/3 in this one before the walk to Camargo. He'll get a very nice hand as he comes off with a 3-2 lead. And will leave behind a runner at first base, his responsibility.
Now let's go back to the 4th inning and take a look at the home runs by Martinez and Bogaerts in this game, and the frustration from the catcher throwing down a number of signs that Tehran didn't want to throw, and he just gets totally frustrated. He says, what am I going to do? I'm running out of fingers. Then they throw him a fastball up. The next time he goes back and he throws down the breaking ball, he wants a slider away, but the slider this time stays inside, and that's when JD takes it up into the monster seats. They also go with a slider to Bogaerts. This one a little bit more out over the plate, and this one goes out of the ballpark completely. So the slider was not a good pitch for Tehran back in the 4th inning. Nor was the pitch selection for Flowers.
No, I wasn't too happy about that.
I don't have any more fingers to put down. Would you please choose one?
I'm out. Hembree coming on in relief of Eduardo Rodriguez. 5 2/3, 2 runs, 6 hits. He struck out 6. His pitching line is brought to you by Ace Ticket. 101 pitches in this one, and can pick up a win, but that'll be up to the bullpen the rest of the way. Hembree to make an appearance. This will be his 22nd of the year. 2-1 with a .491 and a .279 batting average against. Game 1 of a 3-game series, Sox and the Braves, before Toronto comes in. And the Red Sox take off for Houston and that highly anticipated series. And that's when Alex Cora is going to get his World Series ring.
That's going to be a strange feeling, isn't it? You go back, you receive a World Series ring from being a bench coach a year ago to here you are managing the following year the Boston Red Sox, and it's been a nice little run for Alex, hasn't it?
Yeah. And today was really a fascinating day for him. Incredibly interesting decision. The Red Sox designating for assignment Hanley Ramirez. He is Red Sox no longer. We'll see where he winds up. Red Sox have a week to trade him or he becomes a free agent.
I tell you, I wish Hanley nothing but the best.
Yes.
I like Hanley. I like him a lot.
And me too. A couple of years ago really had a tremendous year for the Red Sox. Dansby Swanson, the batter, tried to hold up a swing and a miss, says Jeff Nelson. Strike one.
Alex Cora was very clear saying, that he was not a problem in the clubhouse, and I didn't see that at all. I thought Hanley was very upbeat most of the time in the clubhouse. He get down a little bit when he wasn't swinging the bat well, but everybody does.
Yeah, I thought it was about performance. And guys performing better at this point, and Hanley having fun and was always great with kids in a Red Sox uniform. Marvelous with kids. This was on an off day in Toronto. And dancing to the beat. Certainly do wish him the best. And he will wind up with another ball club. Swanson a fly out, a strikeout. 6 hits for Atlanta. Red Sox have 4. But half of the Red Sox have left the ballpark. Home runs by J.D. Martinez and Xander Bogaerts. And Jackie Bradley with a big triple. He's been driven in to take the lead. Camargo the runner at first. And a 1-2. Sox trying to get to 35 and 16. Houston is the next closest in terms of wins. The Astros are 33 and 18. They've won 4 straight. But Cleveland has a 2-0 lead on them in the 7th inning. And a 1-2 from Hembree. Can't put him away. No swings, his last Diaz. Red Sox playing a National League opponent for the 3rd time this year. They're 2-0 so far and really have dominated the National League over the years. Cut on and missed. He struck him out, and that retires the side. 1 man left. For all you Red Sox fans, pick up KM Fenway Franks at your grocer right now. KM, together we grill. That time of the year. Last half of the 6th inning. Teheran staying out there, delivers a ball here to Moreland, who has singled and flied out. Red Sox in front 3-2 over Atlanta. And getting in front last inning on a triple by Jackie Bradley. And a sac fly driven deep by Benintendi to bring him in. And more activity in the Atlanta bullpen. So Teheran probably not that long for this one. 95 pitches for the right-hander from Colombia. And 1-1 off the plate. Biddle up for the second time, the left-hander. Mitch Moreland cracked a solo home run in the 9th inning last night down to Tropicana Field. Rolls that one foul. You know, in spring training, he bunted for a hit against the Shifts, and he said, I want that in people's minds. Not like I'm going to be bunting very often, but I at least want it in the scouting report that I'm capable of doing that. It's when that third baseman is way off the line toward short. He has yet to do it this year, and he won't be doing it here on 2-2. And it's going to be in there for strike 3. Caught him looking, one away. And that'll send up Xander Bogaerts, who belted a home run his last time up. Sox are getting Joe Kelly going in the pen. Embry got his man. He struck out Swanson with a runner aboard in the 6th inning. After Eduardo Rodriguez went the first 5 2/3, struck out 6. And can pick up the W again. Red Sox bullpen has been fantastic in recent outings.
Now you may be wondering, why Kelly in the 7th, and when you look at who's coming up, it's the top of the order. So, a little flip-flop. Usually he's an 8th inning guy, but they want him facing the top of this lineup, which is pretty dangerous for the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, it's about the matchups, which you see this manager do, I think, a lot more than John Farrell did.
Everybody pretty had the defined role, and this will shift a little bit depending on who's coming to the plate.
The 2-1 roll foul.
There's still defined roles. It's just that you're not quite sure if it's going to be the 7th or 8th where you see a Joe Kelly, who has primarily been the 8th inning guy getting the Kimbrel.
Devers to bat next. Red Sox leading at 3-2 over Atlanta. One down, bases empty. We are in the 6th inning. See if that home run started something for Xander Bogaerts. He's hit well against Atlanta in his career. It's only 13 games, but he's hitting .333 off them with 2 home runs now. And that's going to be taken in by the pitcher Teheran. Nice stab on the mound, and he gets him. 2 gone.
Very nice play. That was a difficult play because that was not a high bounce. That ball was down near the ground, and those are very difficult for pitchers to make. Ball hit hard by Bogaerts, so you can see how it stays down low, and that's a very athletic play by Teheran on the mound.
That sends up Devers, who has struck out. He's also walked and was picked off at first base by Teheran. It's a very different outing for the right-hander than the other time he pitched here at Fenway Park, which was June of 2015. He gave up 13 hits and 6 runs and took the loss. But he's down in this one nonetheless. Devers has now walked in 5 consecutive games, and that is no small thing for a guy who loves to swing the bat and is not up there to wait around and take ball 4.
Well, by my count, that's $250, right?
Yes, in gift certificates.
Because he had to give back a 50 tonight, so that makes it 200.
Doesn't want to have to do that again.
Wish I got $50 every time we talked about Cora.
3-1. On the verge of walking again. Brock Holt on deck. Those are gift certificates to Chipotle. And it's $100 with the opposite field home run. And he pulls that one on 2 hops to Albies, who is on target with the throw, and that retires the side.
Your turn on the Jets-like bets. We are sharing the secret to shaving seconds off the base path. Catch it all on an all-new Nesson Clubhouse Sunday at 11:30 on Nesson, presented by Delta Dental of Massachusetts.
It's Joe Kelly to make an appearance here in the 7th. 3-2. Red Sox have the lead. And it's top of the order for Atlanta. Albies, Acuna, and Freeman. And Kelly has been locked in. He got the win Wednesday at Tampa Bay with a perfect 8th inning, needing only 9 pitches. And the last 6 have been scoreless. Joe allowed 4 runs in his season debut on March 29 at Tampa Bay, but he's allowed only 1 run since then. High pop into left, shallow. Out goes Bogaerts. Benintendi in. He's got it for the out. 1 away. Time for a game break brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store of the Boston Red Sox. Here's Tom Caron. Tom, thank you. Sox in front here, 3-2 on Atlanta. Acuna Jr. is 1 for 3 with a base hit. He has scored a run. They got both of their runs in the 3rd inning. One man away. Bounding ball to third but foul. I thought TC looked very comfortable with that brew in his hand that you gave him at the gala last night.
TC always looks comfortable with a brew in his hand.
Yes, he does. He was really enjoying that. Here we go.
Yeah, go ahead. Pour one for me.
Yeah. In fact, pour me 2. Hard night of hosting. Time for a brew. Not many hits in this one, a total of 10. Well, the Red Sox with a pair of home runs, Xander Bogaerts and J.D. Martinez. J.D. with number 16 to tie Mookie Betts for the major league lead. Minter and Biddle in the Atlanta pen. Of course, the Braves for all of those years when they had Glavine and Maddox and Smoltz, they were known for just great pitching staffs, out of this world pitching staffs, and one division title after another with Bobby Cox as the manager. All those guys winding up in the Hall of Fame. John Sherholtz, their longtime GM, also in the Hall of Fame. So much success driven by pitching. Kelly with a 2-2. Ooh, that one ran in. A deflection. And got the bat apparently. Did not catch him on the hand. Take a look.
Yeah, it looked like it got maybe the barrel, the knob of the bat somewhere in that area. No, maybe not. Maybe a little bit higher.
So remaining 2-2 on Acuna. He's just 20 years old. Braves 2017 minor league player of the year.
Kelly trying a 2-seam fastball that time, down and in.
Freddie Freeman on deck. So full count on the number 2 hitter. And got him. He blew him away, and he did it with a breaking ball.
Yeah, slider that time. He goes from the 2-seamer down and into the slider that's a little bit up, and no contact. Second time that Acuna has struck out tonight. There you see the spin on the slider. Not the best of sliders, but good enough to get the strikeout. That makes it a very good slider.
Yeah, but winds up in a K, right? Freeman has struck out twice in this one. He's also singled and scored a run. Freddie now 28 years old. He's been with some struggling teams in Atlanta, but got to be a lot of fun to be on this ball club. Braves unexpectedly in first place at the moment.
See circles on the right side. Big shift put on.
One and one to count. One he would not chase. Baltimore leading Tampa Bay. That's 2-0 in the 8th inning. After the Sox left town, Tampa Bay made a trade, sending Denard Span and Alex Colomé, their closer, to Seattle. A lot happened after we left Tampa Bay. Ground ball, and that's a foul off the line.
Well, Denard Span probably got sick of me calling him Spam. And then the other thing is, twice he went tumbling over that wall yesterday in foul territory, and he said, I want to trade.
Enough, I'm out of here.
I'm sick of this guy calling me Spam, and I'm sick of falling over the cliff over here.
Yeah.
So get me out of here.
He almost got killed twice.
Yeah.
Luckily, he was all right, but try his luck in Seattle. Tampa Bay got a couple of pitchers in return.
Oh no! They just told me we've got to go to Seattle, and Seattle comes here, so that means I get a chance to call him Spam again.
Well, it gave me an opportunity to discuss my love of Spam as a child, which was a real delicacy. 3-2, and he checks that's down low, ball 4. So
pretty good pitch.
Yeah, Freeman will take the walk, but Kelly puts him on. Markakis next. Get excited, America. Dunkin' Go Twos are here. 2 breakfast sandwiches for $2, $3, or $5. America runs on Dunkin'. Participation may vary. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Markakis did some damage back in the 3rd inning with a 2-run double. He's also walked and struck out tonight. He has over 2,000 major league hits. Been around a while now at 34. Two gone.
Now Freeman once in a while will take off. He's got 5 steals, caught 1 time. This is the #1 running team in the National League.
Freeman with 5. Markakis, a guy you've always had to throw strikes to. A little topper. Kelly off the mound quickly. The underhand toss. Got rid of him in a hurry. 1 man left. His last 17 games, he's a .400 hitter with 8 doubles. Toyo Tire is the official tire of the Boston Red Sox. No hits yet tonight, but he's walked and grounded out. Jesse Biddle will finally make an appearance. He pitched about 7 innings in the bullpen, I think. 6'5", 220 pounds. And he's pitched pretty well, a 2.70 ERA. Made his major league debut back in April and got the win. Tough on lefties. Holt, Vasquez, and Bradley. And across for a strike.
Yeah, ball kind of just explodes out of his hand. Matt Barnes loosening up in the bullpen.
Nice.
1-1. He's bunting toward third, rolling. Camargo, a bare hand. That's going to be a base hit.
That's a beautiful thing. Kind of a lost start, Dave, in baseball. And a perfect bunt down the third base line by Brock Holt. Lefty against lefty, give it a shot. Got the third baseman back on the dirt. And nothing he could do about that. He almost squared around like it was sacrificing. That's how much time he had to drop that ball down the third base line. Beautiful job by Holt.
So his first hit tonight.
See if the Red Sox sacrifice here with Vasquez at the plate.
He's 0 for 2. Last time up, ground ball off the pitcher. He's going to send that one towards center, but run down by Albies for the out. And back to first, Brock Holt, so 1 man gone. And that'll bring up JBJ. Time now for our high strength steel play, brought to you by New England Chevy dealers and a Chevy Silverado. Back to that 5th inning triple.
Jackie Bradley ripping one in down toward the Red Sox bullpen area. It bounces off the bullpen, then caroms out toward the garage door. And very nicely played out there by Inciarte. And that keeps Bradley at third base with the triple.
1 for 2 with a run, and a big run. It's the difference in the game. Exit velocity of 109 miles per hour on the triple. So the hits are starting to come a little bit for Jackie. Brock Holt the runner. 0-2. Sox are still getting out hit. It's 6-5 Atlanta in that category, but Boston in front by a run. Mookie Betts on deck. And Biddle with the 0-2. And a breaking ball and a nasty one right on the corner. Jackie didn't think so. Argues it with Jeff Nelson, but he'll have to take a seat.
That looked like a pretty good pitch, Jackie. It looked like the breaking ball did pick up the outside corner. You'll see it on a Mika pit zone. That's a strike.
So 2 down. Snitker out. Braves manager on his 3rd year. He'll go to the bullpen. So he will bring on a right-hander for Mr. Betts. And we'll take on Mookie Betts with a runner on at first. Mookie tonight has fly to center, struck out. He's also taken ball 4 and then stolen his 13th base. Red Sox flashing power again tonight. Home runs by J.D. Martinez and Xander Bogaerts, solo shots. Hey, time now to check out the results of our Dunkin' Donuts poll question. And which National League East team is a bigger surprise, do you think? The Braves or the Philadelphia Phillies? And the Phillies at 54% win it tonight. They're half game out.
Figured that'd be a pretty close vote right there, and that was close.
Phillies got off to a rough start. Everybody wanted ahead of Gabe Kapler in Philadelphia, but they've been surging since then. Mookie lifting a high pop down the line. Freeman giving chase. And that's going to drop into foul ground. He couldn't get to it. Big crowd on this Friday. Red Sox in their Friday night red tops. Back home at Fenway. 77 degrees. It's been delightful. Brock Holt aboard at first with 2 gone. We are in the bottom of the 7th. There goes Brock Holt. Here's the throw down. It's going to be late and cut off in front of the bag anyway.
He's put on a clinic. He really is. You know, the bunt down the third base line. Now a delay steal in the second base. You do it with 2 outs. 1, 2, 3. When the ball gets by the hitter, you take off. The catcher falls asleep. The infielders fall asleep. Excellent job by Brock Holt. That's another lost start, the delay steal.
So he gets himself into scoring position for Betts. And a 1-1 from Whistler. High fly ball left field. A towering fly. It is gone into the monster seats. Mookie Betts with number 17. And his sensational season continues.
Well, Betts looks like he gets a breaking ball. It is. Every home run that has been hit tonight by the Red Sox have come off a slider. The one by J.D., the one by Bogaerts, and now Betts.
A 2-run shot to put the Sox in front 5-2. Boston's 3rd home run. He just hates it when anybody ties him for the home run lead, doesn't he?
Yeah, I don't want to jump back on top.
As his teammate J.D. Martinez had done earlier tonight. So now it's J.D.'s turn. He homered in the 4th inning. Benintendi is 0 for 2 with an RBI and a sacrifice fly. 5-2 Boston. So some breathing room for the Red Sox here in the 7th. And a strike. Just been a magical season so far for Mookie Betts.
Now getting back to that delay steal, just as a teaching tool, you don't see it very often, but watch the run. It takes 3 steps, 1, 2, 3, and when the ball gets by the hitter, everybody puts their head down. The infielders do, the catcher does, and that's how you pick up that kind of a steal. It's not a straight out steal. It's a very heads up play. You usually do 2 outs when the infielders are back deep.
Popped him up off third base. Camargo into foul ground. And he's got it, but the Red Sox are on the board again on another home run by Mookie Betts.
video with hashtag Hats Off for Heroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
Red Sox Baseball in Nesson is brought to you by Toyota's official website for deals, buyatoyota.com. KM, Together We Grill. And by Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. Sox have powered their way to a 5-2 lead, 3 home runs for Boston tonight. Xander Bogaerts, JD Martinez, and of course Mookie Betts with number 17. And Matt Barnes on to work here in the 8th inning. He'll get Suzuki to lead things off. He's gone 0 for 3. Inciarte on deck, and then Flowers. Matt's ERA sitting at 2.61. And a 1-0 pop foul out of play. Last 5 games, the Red Sox relief corps has allowed no runs and issued only 3 walks while striking out 16. Performing superbly. Eduardo Rodriguez, the starter tonight, went 5 2/3, 2 runs, 6 hits, and he can win it. And Eddie would go to 5-1 with a victory. Red Sox would be 9-1 in his starts. Five runs, 6 hits for Boston, 2 runs on 6 hits for Atlanta. Neither side has committed an error. And Dustin Pedroia can't wait to get in there tomorrow. And a 1-2 to Suzuki. Amazing to think that last year the Red Sox were last in the American League and 27th in the majors in home runs. And tonight they've hit 3 more, and they're number 2 in the majors in home runs here in 2018. What a turnaround. Two and 2 to count on Suzuki, native of Hawaii. He's a tough guy to strike out. Lines it into right field. Mookie Betts has that one measured. 1 away. So Barnes gets his first man. Inciarte will be next. Premium Flex plans are on sale right now. These plans include matchups with the Yankees and summer weekend games and some of the best seat locations at Fenway. For more information, visit redsox.com/premiumflex. Well, it's been a fun night at the ballpark, and Jerry and I had a great time talking with the Red Sox Hall of Famers early in the broadcast.
And that was a lot of fun. Always great to see those guys, and congratulations again to all of those who went to the Red Sox Hall of Fame.
Chatting with Kevin Youkilis, Derek Lowe, Mike Lowell. Runs up to bunt, but that's going to be a strike. Some of the ceremony from earlier on.
Won't you please welcome back?
And the plaques, of course, to honor each of those gentlemen. Weak ground ball to Brock Holt. Up and over. And 2 down.
Yeah, those plaques, you know, each player will get their own plaque that they obviously take home with them, and the other plaque will be placed in Fenway Park to be here forever. So when you walk around, I think it's the 3rd level where they show all the plaques of all the retired players, and I mean the Hall of Fame players in the Red Sox history, and it's quite a list.
You like your plaque?
Yeah, I do. I have hair and yeah, she does.
Put a little hair up there. Now, Brandi Chastain, the soccer star, she was recently inducted into a Hall of Fame out on the West Coast, and it was so bad, the likeness on the plaque, they said, okay, we're going to redo it at our expense. It's terrible. We realize it's bad. It looked nothing like her. And sometimes they, you know,
yeah, no,
it can be rough.
I can make myself out in the plaque. I really can.
Do you like the hair?
Yeah, it's when I had hair and I was young.
Flowers has gone 1 for 3 with a base hit.
Now I'm young at heart.
Yes, you are. And what a great honor for you. And for anyone lucky enough to have that happen, the class this year, including the late John Buck Freeman and 2 non-uniformed inductees, Al Green and Arthur D'Angelo, all came out to their own music.
They had walk-up music?
They did. Arthur's, I think, was My Way. In a big way. That was great. Derek Lowe was friends in low places. Had that blaring. So everybody chose their own, and very special moment for everybody. Here's the 1-2 pitch now to Flowers. Camargo on deck. Red Sox in the lead here, 5-2. In addition, Major League Baseball debut of Pumpsie Green, first African American player in Red Sox history in 1959, was selected as the memorable Red Sox moment for its special significance. That's pumped in there. Strike 3. Got him looking. Sunday. It's a 3-inning game, including Pedro Martinez, Wade Boggs, and many of your favorite Red Sox legends. The event only open to fans attending the 1 o'clock game against the Braves, so visit redsox.com/tickets to get your tickets right now. Sox up 5-2, bottom of the 8th inning. J.D. Martinez, Mitch Moreland, and Xander Bogaerts, 3, 4, and 5 against Matt Whistler. His second inning of relief didn't go so well last inning. Yanked to third, and Camargo up and gunning. 1 pitch and 1 gone. JD 1 for 4 tonight with a home run. Do you wake up feeling tired? Could be your mattress. Right now at Jordan's Furniture, there are 30 queen mattresses for under $9.99. Plus, get up to 72 months, no interest with equal payments and no minimum. Moreland 1 for 3 out of the cleanup spot tonight. Base hit back in the second inning. Hits are even at 6 apiece. Bogaerts next. And the former Atlanta Brave Craig Kimbrell loosens in the bullpen. Red Sox again getting very strong relief efforts out of Hembree, Kelly, and Barnes. There's the 2-0 now. A strike. 1 o'clock tomorrow. Drew Pomeranz on the hill. Sean Newcomb, the left-hander, will oppose him. Chris Sale going on Sunday. Also at 1:05. High fly ball. That one headed toward the triangle. Inciarte on the move, turning around. It is gone. Mitch Moreland with his 8th, and for the Red Sox tonight, that's number 4.
Now Moreland with a nice 2 for 4 night, had a base hit back in the second inning, and this was a no doubt over the left the bat. This is the first home run tonight off a fastball from the Atlanta staff. All of the 3 were sliders. Moreland hooks an outside fastball and pulls it in those center field bleachers.
Man, he crushed it. 6-2. Xander already has one tonight. 4th inning home run. Well, more playing time coming for Moreland. And that looks to be a very good thing for the Boston Red Sox. That's one of the points that Alex Cora made about this decision on designating Hanley Ramirez for assignment. Mitch Moreland needs to play offensively and defensively. Gorgeous swing. So 4 home runs for the Red Sox tonight. Kimbrell still warming in the bullpen, even though it's a 4-run lead now. Xander up to 287, looking for his second hit, and that's going to be downstairs at 93. Devers next, 1 away. Whistler has allowed 2 of those home runs. To the shortstop. Swanson one-handed gets him. 2 away. Our game summary now brought to you by Xfinity. Tehran did not pitch badly at all. That's a quality start. Erod 5 2/3, 2 earned runs, struck out 7. He can get the win. And the home runs tonight, a big part of the Red Sox story here in game 1 with Atlanta.
Quick strike offense tonight.
Devers is 0 for 2 with a walk. .234, 9 home runs for Raphael. Red Sox have now hit 45 home runs since April 30th. That leads the majors. 4 more in this one. And some towering shots, too. Devers was trying to follow suit, came up empty on that. Mitch Moreland finding those bleachers in center field. And a 2-1 from the righty. Fly ball into left field, but Markakis is backing up. He's under. And that will do it. Moreland connects again, and the Red Sox have a 6-2 lead. The official realtor of the Boston Red Sox. And buy your New England Audi dealers. Get behind the wheel of the Audi you've always wanted. Good night at Fenway. Sox on top 6-2. Powering their way into the lead with 4 home runs. Craig Kimbrell will come on in an on-save situation. With 22 appearances, a 2.11 ERA. And he will get 8, 9, and 1 for the Braves. That's fouled away for strike 1. Camargo has singled, popped up, and taken ball 4. Sox came in leading the big leagues in batting average, doubles, and extra base hits, and now continue with the home runs. Yankees did win, by the way. They beat the Angels 2-1. Tigers beat the White Sox 5-4. Houston leading the Indians 4-2. They're in the 9th inning. Swanson on deck, and then Albies. And the Sox closer with a 2-1. 3 balls and 1 strike. Well, the day began with the rather shocking news that Hanley Ramirez is no longer a member of the Red Sox. Red Sox trying to end it on a victory against Atlanta and move to 35-16. Kimbrel looking to pin down the victory against his old ball club. Came up through the Braves system and broke in 2010. And that's in his strike three. 98 miles an hour. Camargo will take a seat.
Now, each reliever that's been in the game has struck out at least one batter. Hembry, Kelly, Barnes, and now Kimbrel.
5 1/3 no-hit innings by the Red Sox pitching staff, and every time a Red Sox pitcher strikes out a Brave, Lexus donates $50 to the Greater Boston Food Bank. Kimbrel's first big year as a closer was with the Braves in 2011 when he saved 46 games. He would later save 50 in a season. That was just a couple of years later. Last year with the Red Sox, 35 with a 1.43 ERA. Of course, he's gone over 300 in his career, which began in Atlanta, the 0-1 to Swanson. Now 0-2.
I think he's rested. 99 on that last fastball.
Swanson stepping out for a moment. He's already struck out twice and fly to center. Albies on deck. One, two, and that one hammered high and deep to left. Benintendi back to the wall. He's going to have to play it off the 10. It'll roll to Jackie Bradley, and that'll be 2 bases for Swanson. So a double with 1 down here in the 9th.
And right toward the bottom of the wall out there in left field, and it gets by Benintendi, backed up by Bradley, but a double. So just happy to make contact that time with Swanson. He had struck out 2 out of the 3 times he'd been up previous tonight, right up the top of the scoreboard.
The Braves had not had a hit since the 3rd inning before that double by Swanson. Albies had 1 the 1st inning. He's gone 1 for 3 with a walk. A 6-2 Red Sox lead. The hits are now even at 7. And ball 1. Ronald Acuna Jr. is on deck. Sox looking to continue their dominance over the National League. Going back many years now, that's in there for a strike.
The thing about Kimbrel, you know, just when you think you're going to get a fastball, you don't get it. You get the breaking ball. I think 1 ball, no strike. He's going to come with the fastball. Nope.
Swanson out there at second base with 1 gone. We're in the 9th inning. The 1-1 popped up foul, giving it a look to Evers, but that's going to drift on into the seats. Today, the 58th day of the Major League season. The Red Sox have held at least a share of first place at the start of 51 days. 1 game lead over the Yankees, who have 1. As we near the end of May, here comes the 1-2. Hard ground ball, but Moreland's got it. He'll flip on to Kimbrel for the out. Down to third Swanson with 2 gone in the 9th. Wednesday, June 6th is Benintendi Splash Bobblehead Night at Fenway Park. First 10,000 fans receive a Benintendi bobblehead. First in a series of 3 splash bobbles this season, presented by Coca-Cola. For tickets and more information, visit redsox.com/promos. So he's in the process of splashing somebody like with a Gatorade jug, or getting splashed. That's the new look. Runner at third for Acuna, who's gone 1 for 4 with a single. Sox up 6-2 in the ninth. Tonight, the 2018 class of the Red Sox Hall of Fame inductees were honored in a nice pregame ceremony. And the Sox looking to finish it off with a win over the Braves. And the 0-1. Right past him at 97.
Boy, those 2 fastballs he has had no chance on.
Number 1 in their book. Been tremendous for the Red Sox as well. Looking to end the night with a strikeout. And he does. 98 miles an hour. And the Red Sox win it 6-2. A really nice night at the ballpark in more ways than one, TC.